Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, we're going to go back to Thursday, August 17th, 2023, when we saw this tweet from Senator Colton Moore. As a Georgia State Senator, I am officially calling for an emergency session to review the actions of Fani Willis. America is under attack. I'm not going to sit back and watch as radical left prosecutors politically target political opponents. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we do here on the BuzWeaver channel, if you are new here, welcome. We take the difficult, we take the complicated, we take the tumult, we take the confusion that is often presented to us by representatives and the media and the legacy media, as well as the federal government and the Biden administration, and we try to break it down into very simple language that everyone can understand. So the reason I sat on this for several days is because, as I've mentioned before here on the BuzWeaver channel, the political system in the United States is a team. They all work together. There's nothing spontaneous that happens. There are no surprises. There are no got-yous in this whole thing. This is all coordinated together so that each person knows what the other is doing. So that's why I didn't really want to get into this particular tweet as early as Thursday. But we're going to go into this, and you're going to see why I waited. So from The Guardian, Georgia Republican lawmaker moves to impeach Trump's prosecutor Fani Willis. State Senator Colton Moore, as we just read, okay, a Republican state senator in Georgia has moved to impeach the Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. The move comes in the wake of Willis's delivery of a 41-count indictment against the former President Donald Trump and his operatives on state racketeering and conspiracy charges over efforts to reverse Trump's 2020 presidential election loss in the state. Now, it is not illegal for a president to ask about or to have an investigation to look into the election, and up to the vice president to decide whether it moves forward. So there isn't like anything illegal about it, and they keep trying to give people the impression that it is. I like how they called Trump's attorneys operatives as opposed to constitutionally protected counsel. As you see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why you're here on the BuzWeaver channel. So we can take the difficult, we can take the complicated, we can take the tumult, we can take the framing and break it down into easy to digest and so you guys can understand. So this is downtown Atlanta right here, and you can see 285 goes around, and Fulton County is the largest county in Georgia, and it starts up here in Roswell and goes all the way down here to East Point, College Park area. And as I understand it, based on the statistics in the Atlanta area, Trump received 25% of the vote. So as I understand it, also in D.C., he only had like 5%, and so it's going to be interesting to see if Trump can even get a fair trial anywhere where he's prosecuted. In New York, I think he was at 12%. So 25 in Atlanta, 12 in New York, and 5 in D.C. So trying to find an impartial jury, especially when it comes to a grand jury where they can select whoever they want, it's absolutely astounding. So let's hear from Colton himself.
Hello, this is Colton Moore from Northwest Georgia, State Senator. I've officially called for an emergency legislative session to investigate corrupt District Attorney Fani Willis. I'm sick and tired of these weak, so-called leaders telling us to sit down and be quiet. We have to take action. I need patriots like you to help me. We got a country to save.
Okay, so that was Colton, and of course I made a comment there, and I followed all of his links and everything that he had, and it takes him it takes you to his official website where he is asking for donations and so forth. So let's see what has happened here today on Monday. Now, when I was looking all this up, it's showing here that the article was just refreshed 4 minutes ago. So that would have been about 15 minutes ago from when I started the recording. So Trump urges Georgia GOP to impeach Fani Willis for prosecuting him. Here's why that's unlikely. Well, thank you, Forbes magazine, for your encouragement and upbeat news writing. Former President Donald Trump attacked Republican Georgia Governor Brian Kemp Monday, accusing him of blocking an effort to impeach Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis after her office brought election interference charges against Trump last week. And while the legislator has the tools to impeach Willis, it's unlikely the effort will succeed. So the whole thing, as I just said to you guys, is that this is, you know, our political system, our government is a club, right? We're supposed to be of the people, for the people. And I want to emphasize this as clearly as I can. Voting belongs to the people, not to the government, not to the politicians. It belongs to the people. And sadly, the government has conditioned people via the use of media to make people believe that government is actually in charge and that it is the will of the government and not the will of the people. And that's what we're moving away from. And that's why I, as a conservative, is constantly telling everyone about how government overreach is becoming too powerful. And we're seeing how powerful that is now. Americans have become complacent. They've allowed themselves to be lulled into this idea that government will take care of whatever issues, whatever problems are coming up, government will take care of it. We saw what happened during the pandemic, right? Excuse me. Trump accused Kemp of fighting hard against the impeachment and attacked Willis as crooked, incompetent, and highly partisan in a Truth Social post on Monday. So I've not seen the actual post, but there's a link here. Trump made the comments after Republican Georgia State Senator Colton Moore asked Kemp in a letter last week to call a special session to investigate and potentially impeach Willis for potentially abusing her position of power by pursuing former President Donald J. Trump. Now, as I said earlier, when I go to Colton's stuff and look up all his information and sign the petition and stuff, it does direct you to his site for donations. And essentially what happened was the same thing happened with Fani Willis. When she announced this, she had then released her campaign for 2023 re-election as Fulton County DA. Moore suggested in his letter to Kemp that he had support of 3/5 of the members of both the House Senate for a special session, which would compel Kemp to call one into order pursuant to the state constitution. Kemp spokesperson Garrison Douglas denied that 3/5 of members of the both chambers supported the effort in comments to Fox News, referring Fox to a statement one of Kemp's advisors made to another outlet in which he suggested impeachment efforts could deter Republican votes and lead to GOP election losses. Wow, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you need any more evidence of how these individuals coordinate and work together as though they know exactly what's going to happen? They're keeping us on edge. They're dangling that carrot, as we have talked about when it comes to the left, the progressives, of course, the identitarians and intersectionality, all these activist type groups. The media dangles a carrot in front of them. You remember, at any moment, at any second, any day, Trump is going down the whole time he was president. And I just wanted to point this out. This is from WZQZ here in Georgia. It's a country music station. I didn't even realize that. But grandstanding and shameless fundraising efforts are just a couple of the terms being used to describe State Senator Colton Moore's call to a special session of Georgia General Assembly to include, without limitation, the reviews and response of the actions of Fani Willis. Now, like you said here, they're kind of pointed out. I'm not suggesting that they're going after Colton. They're simply quoting what a lot of people have been saying, and very similar to what I was saying. When you go to Colton's website, it's his website. It talks a little bit about who he is, and of course, he does have a social media presence. I don't know. See, he's got 25,000 followers here on social media, but here on his YouTube, he's only got 13 subscribers. That's not really to suggest anything because obviously these people aren't YouTube's, creators. I also wanted to point out, speaking of YouTube creators and journalism and people who are commentators, Luke from Luke Uncensored, or We Are Change, mentioned this in a video he made the other day, or at least an article, not this particular article, but an article referring to this. ABC News, Gore to contest election results. November 24, 2000, lawyers for Democrat Al Gore said Thursday the vice president will contest the closed presidential election results in at least one Florida county and that he will not concede the election even after the final state vote tally is certified on Sunday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the immediate response I got from detractors on the left was that Al Gore conceded. Yeah, well, Al Gore wasn't indicted, right? Al Gore was not indicted as they were with Donald Trump. Al Gore was not pursued relentlessly for 6 years after this had happened. As a matter of fact, it completely went away. And, of course, the argument that I made, this is when I left the Republican Party, because I could already see the establishment already forming. I could already see the establishment uniparty coming together in this situation. Not that I wanted Al Gore to win any more than George W. Bush, but what were my choices? Al Gore or George W. Bush? And that was when I learned more extensively of how impactful the establishment uniparty is on our country, right? We're supposed to be of the people, for the people, we the people. And unfortunately, it's becoming we the government, unfortunately, is where we are in our country. And people have become complacent. So we have this situation here now in Georgia where Fani Willis has told the Trump team and his constitutionally protected counsel that they have to appear in Fulton County court. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen this week. And of course, Trump canceled his meeting he was going to have today, Monday, that is, August the 21st, on the election activity that happened here in Georgia. But nonetheless, guys, that's what I had for you today. And of course, I welcome all of your comments and thoughts down there in the comments section. But I wanted to hold off and just bring all this together for you before I got into it on Thursday. But nonetheless, guys, that's what I had for you today. And of course, appearing there on the screen, that would be the channel icon. You guys can click on to subscribe, as well as to select notifications, of course, if you're watching here on YouTube. And thank you for all your support across all those on New Tech. And I will see all you guys in the next video.